Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko and I'm here with Terry Morrow. Say hi, Terry.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast we talk about parenting issues, but once a week Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. Right now we're in a TV-centric period of our podcast. So this week we chatted about the latest episode in our West Wing and Good Place watches that we're doing. But first, Dancing with the Stars. So as you just said to me before we pressed record, that was a very sad ending to Dancing with the Stars.
That was. What a trio night bummer.
Yeah. Tinashe going home and Joe, grocery store Joe, staying after a hot mess of a dance. I mean, that was
my goodness.
bad. And then at the end, the shower, like, to top it off, we're going to do the shower trick. Like, my God.
I'm starting to feel like Jenna is trying desperately to put in as much bad choreo as possible in the hopes that please
put us out of
let
our
us
misery.
Go.
Yes.
Oh man, it was pretty funny though. I heard in the they were talking about it in the chat room I was in while I was watching it, but I missed it the first time, so I just watched it again on YouTube with the sound off. In the background, Gleb and Val are getting up to some mischief.
Yes.
There's at one point something where Val is holding a tire and Gleb is sticking something through it. And I did the ABC censors see that? I don't know. But at least somebody was having a good time in that dance. Oh my goodness.
Well, and I mean, how do they decide who the third person is going to be? Because that guy...
well, he did make Joe look relatively better in comparison.
But that's, I guess. Like, I mean, you have somebody like Maddie Ziegler, who's literally a professional dancer.
Yes.
And, you know, people who have been winners and runner-ups of past seasons of Dancing with the Stars. And then you have this schmo who, like,
can't even get the breakaway undershirt off.
Yes, and struggled with his shirt the whole entire time. Like, oh man, that was painful.
It was. And the partnering the trioing was weird. And also the girl who danced with Ivana, who I guess is also from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Pretty girl and nice chemistry between the two of them, but it was clear that she was not a professional dancer or not somebody who had a whole lot of experience. And she did fine, but she was thinking really hard as she was doing it. She kind of didn't have that spontaneous performance quality. I think she did amazingly for someone who clearly is not, learned it just for this.
Right. I was surprised by how high their score was because I didn't think they were in sync. I thought it was just messy. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I want to like her, but I thought the judges didn't seem to mention that at all. So
yeah. And on the other hand, I thought Lindsay and DeMarcus' dance was fantastic, and the judges were kind of eh.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. And
the man broke his finger in the service of bringing you this dance number. Respect, y'all. Come on.
Yeah, they showed you the x-ray. I know. And, my favorite choreography of the whole night was Tinashe and Brandon.
Yeah.
Because in general, I don't like trio night. I just hate the way it always looks like two girls fawning over one guy or two guys fighting over one girl. It's just like icky. But I actually thought that in the Tinashe and Brandon one, he did a good job choreographing it so that they all looked good. And I thought it was well done. And it's so hard to do that where it looks good. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I
Amy
agree.
Purdy.
I liked that dance too. Yes, and she did very well, I thought. And I was very happy that she was there, and they seemed happy to have her. Mm-hmm. Just a real shame that she went home on that.
Yeah.
But I made a mistake earlier today. Somebody had put on Twitter, I think it was Twitter, or Instagram, the trio dance from last year, 2 seasons ago now, with Jordan and Corbin and Lindsay, which was so good. Mm-hmm. I watched that again, and it was so fantastic. So everything paled tonight, there's nothing tonight that was that good. Yeah. So it was all kind of, it was all right. The one with Riker and Milo came sort of close to that, but not. If you watch the two of them back to back, it would be clear that, right, one of them was on a different plane, but they sort of had the same thing going on. I think this was fun to watch. I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed theirs, and I enjoyed Mary Lou. Yes, I enjoyed that a lot. That was really cute. That was cute. And it reminded me of Sasha and Nastia doing that one to, it was in the subway. See, I don't think I watched the guy singing season. You didn't watch that season? I don't think so. Oh, I got to send you that video then, because it reminded her, the way they were dancing together reminded me of that. What was that? Oh gosh, what is that song? Baby, Honey, I'm Good. Oh, I love that song. Yes. Oh, I will send you the video of it. Andy Grammer. Yes, Andy Grammer was on, and he was singing it live. And they were like in this... Oh, so then I did watch that season, because I totally watched the season where Andy Grammer was on. No, he wasn't a contestant. Not the season he was a dancer. It was prior to... Okay. Yes, it was prior to that. Gotcha. And it was... Actually, she was Derek was her partner. And he got injured. And so Sasha danced with her for a few times. And this was the first one. And Derek had to insert himself into it somewhat. But the two of them together were so great. I'll send you that video and put the link in the post if anybody else missed it. That was so seeing her and him dancing together again reminded me of that in a good way. Right. And Mary Lou was adorable and seemed to be having a really good time. And I thought it had an excellent deployment of gymnasts. And just good choreography. Yes. But you have the two of them, you might as well have them do as many flips and acrobatic things as possible. Right. So, and he can do that as well, so. Yeah. And then the show started with Juan Pablo and Cheryl. I'm like, I didn't like that dance. I thought the choreography was bad. He's like, he does a good job, but I just like the sunny, funny dances much more than the sexy ones, Yes. Like, I don't know what that says about me, but that's how I feel. Yeah. So, who didn't we get to? John and Joey. Oh, that was pretty not great. I mean, I felt like, as usual, Emma was doing everything. And well, sure. Yeah. So, he continues to be cheerful and people like him, so he's still there. Yes. Which is okay. Yeah. Going back to DeMarcus's finger, I had to laugh. When people get injured on dance shows, they send them to, the Ameti Center. I know, in the strip mall. Don't they have their own same thing happened on So You Think You Can Dance. Remember? They just, sent this kid out. Oops, you hurt yourself. Here, we'll give you cab fare. Right, here's an Uber. Go down to the urgent care. I know. Don't they have medical Why don't staff? They have a medical facility or a staff or a doctor? I guess maybe if they have a medical person on staff, they're not competent to set fingers, but still, it just seems so funny. But the Minute Clinic can do it? I mean, they did, so I guess they can. Imagine you're sitting in there waiting your hour or 2 hours for the urgent care. And in come these two football players. Two football players and a professional dancer. They got bumped to the front of the line because they have rehearsal time. That's right. I don't know, probably in LA that sort of thing happens all the time, but it just made me laugh. It's like, ABC, just at least pretend that you care about the health of these people you're putting through this stressful activity. Although, man, to get your finger broken during a chest bump has got to be some sort of level of humiliation for a professional athlete. Yeah. And he's just like, you broke my finger. He knew. Oh, boy. Well, should we move on from the adults to the juniors and discuss them quickly? Well, it's actually, I have a similar theme. The complaint on the Dancing with the Stars was a lot of the things didn't have enough content. And there was that complaint in a couple of the juniors ones too. Mm-hmm. But particularly when the dance style is salsa. And there was like a 12 and a 13-year-old doing a salsa dance. And I'm like, the content of salsa is sex.
Right.
What do you want them a 12 and 13-year-old doing? Mm-hmm. They should not be doing the content. I want to see them doing the content. Let them just wiggle a little bit to the nice music and give them a pat on the head.
Yeah.
Stop that. Mm-hmm. So perhaps we could not do salsa.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Thank you so much for no salsa content. Nobody wants to see that.
No, but there were some cute ones. The little Gamora girl was adorable. The
skateboard girl, too.
Yeah, skateboard girl was...
Yeah, that was an adorable dance.
Super
and
cute.
She did the dancing well. She did the facial expressions well.
Yeah.
She is so cute. But it's weird on this show. The age range is weird. And just the fact that it's an age range over which nature does all different things to bodies is weird because Mackenzie and Miles are the same age. Right. And yet...
Right. He still looks like a kid because that's what happens for boys.
And she looks like, compared to that, she looks huge and womanly.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's uncomfortable. I don't know how you judge little sprite against semi-mature preteen.
Right.
It's not right. They need to figure that out for the next. I mean, I think they're doing so many things right on this. There's so many things about this I really like, but that is a problem. Mm-hmm. So it's unclear yet whether that's going to wind up going against the little ones or the big ones, but it's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, because on the first week, it kind of went against the older girl who got sent home, but then this time it was a pretty little boy who... got eliminated. The kid from...
I felt he was sad, too. I felt bad. It's, I was enjoying the show so much. I was thinking, this is so fun and it's so positive. And then it got to the end and I went, oh, crud. They have to send somebody home. Well, that ruins everything.
It really does.
And the only one I could think of that I would be okay with was Honey Boo Boo. And that's only because I had completely forgot that Hudson was even there. So that's... It's like, I thought that kid. I didn't like his dance. I thought the superhero thing there was so much going on in that stage. Mm-hmm. All the lights and all the colors. I thought, is this the junior version of the Mists of Hiding Footwork? Is that we're just going to put so much stuff on the stage that you can't really see them?
Follow. Mm-hmm.
They're there somewhere in that swirl of color. You go, kids. Let's give them a cape, and then we'll have stripes going the other way. And yeah, that was a very busy dance. Mm-hmm. So, but again, what is it, like a paso doble, right?
I think so. Yeah. Again.
It was like that's a strong dance with lots of grown-up overtones. Mm-hmm. Why are you giving? Could we do like the waltz, the cha-cha? Not even the rumba. Can we the jive? Can we just find 4 sweet dances that do not require
kid-friendly, please.
Kid-friendly. No tangos. Come on.
Exactly.
These are kids. It's not appropriate.
I'm thinking of when in skating when they test dances and the first couple ones are. A waltz and there is a baby tango, but it's not like these tangos.
Yeah. If you're going to do those dances, you have to come up with a training wheels version of it, and the judges need to be cool with that.
Right. Yeah.
So... But it was so much fun.
Yeah,
I really like watching that. And the Spelling Bee boy has got a future. He's gonna get himself a sitcom out of this.
He is so cute.
He really, really is. I mean, he can't really dance particularly well, and his partner scares me a little bit.
Gets out there and just goes for it anyway.
He is so fabulously game, considering that he's just a kid.
Yeah.
He's not a showbiz kid.
No.
He's adorable.
Yeah.
He's gonna hit the talk show circuit. He's gonna be on a sitcom. He's got a future.
Yes.
Him and what's his the little guy.
Maybomb, Jason.
Yes, Jason.
The redhead.
He and Jason need like a odd couple,
like a buddy comedy.
Yeah, buddy comedy immediately. That should come out of this.
Good. All right. Well, we'll continue to enjoy that.
We
next
will.
Time.
If they could just like, not do the elimination part. Like we felt with making it. Just let everybody dance for 10 weeks and then at the end give somebody a prize.
Yeah, that would be much better.
That would be much better. The eliminations are going to be tough.
They're painful.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to see a little kid crying on my TV screen.
No.
It's harsh as my mellow. Come on.
Exactly. And from the dance floor, we go back to Australia for the moment on The Good Place. This episode was called The Snowplow. And we had Michael and Janet now on Earth with limited powers. They still have the Janet database, basically,
right,
of everything she learned up until the point where they arrived on Earth.
It's just not updating.
Right.
She's offline, I guess.
Right. So, this one was not my favorite. I mean, I still enjoy this show very, very much.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was a little more telling than showing in some cases.
Yeah, I think it's because they kept jumping forward a number of months and just showing little vignettes.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't really feel like you were there with them.
That, and also the scene in which Eleanor had a tantrum at Tahani's going away party. And then Simone talks to her outside of the party. Yeah. And Simone kind of just like lays out this whole philosophical theory. And it was a little too expository.
Yeah. I can see that.
I mean, again, it's still so funny and so good, and I still enjoy it very much, but I felt it suffered a little bit this time.
Yeah. I missed watching it in real time on Thursday, and then the next day, everywhere I went on the internet were people that I follow who were talking about it, and I accidentally saw Alan Sepinwall's headline in Rolling Stone about it, which indicated that he did not like it as much as he has liked others. And said just exactly what you're saying. Any episode of this is good to great, but this didn't leave him wanting more the way that previous ones had. So I kind of went into it thinking, I'm not going to like this one as much. So I don't know if I would have felt that way otherwise, but it wasn't as much fun as some of them have been. It's just like, I don't know how many times they can keep completely turning over the table and doing something completely different episode to episode. You're always going to get this seems like there in past seasons, there have been these episodes where this is necessary in order for us to do the next thing we're going to do, which is going to be great. So you just have to kind of roll with this one. Right. So I don't feel like it's the first time this show has done that. But, it's always fun to see these people. And the character of the less popular Hemsworth brother was kind of fun. Maybe milked a little too far, but that was a funny bit of business.
Yes.
And Eleanor's evolution was kind of interesting, even though it wasn't necessarily funny. It was kind of cool to see her changing little bit by little bit.
Right.
I miss Chidi, the nervous wreck. He seemed relatively healthy and confident in this episode. That's not our Chidi.
Right. And he's definitely still with Simone and having like a happy relationship with her.
It seems like.
Right.
Yeah. So, and Michael being so desperate and so kind of not really doing stuff very well. And, wondering, I guess they used the journalism office for shelter, and neither of them perhaps need food or any normal human amenities, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, and also, like, you know, Eleanor needed money, so they got her the lottery ticket to solve that problem. But how is Jason paying for anything?
Well,
like,
Jason's
what's he living?
in a dumpster. Jason's level of need is low. People put food in it, and it's fine. Yeah, he seems a little more... Yeah, I would think he would want to get back to Jacksonville, but yeah, that's true. There was just a lot of loose ends, and a long... any episode that's going to take a year within the episode. It felt like there was a lot of stuff we would have liked to have seen that we got skipped, and we just have to assume that this is where things ended up.
Right.
Which is not as much fun, but... it was necessary to get to where they ended. It was funny. I wound up watching it on the NBC.com website, and that because I wanted to be doing it at my desk and not having to watch it on the TV. And so I'm watching it, and all of a sudden it gets to the point where Michael and Janet are arguing in the kitchen. He wants to go back and open the door and reset the timeline, and Janet is saying no, and then all of a sudden it stopped and it dumped me out onto NBC.com, This Is Us episodes.
Ah.
And I thought, is that the way it ended? It's like the timeline got restarted and this is just where we go. It just stopped, like, because it could be on this show.
Yes.
It could just that. So I went and looked at Alan Sepinwall's review and he mentioned the door opening at the end, and I said, okay, I missed a part.
I didn't see that. And
I watched it on the very end on my TV.
And once again, my DVR did not record the very, very end.
Oh, you gotta set it for like 5 minutes past.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to tell it to record the next show, I think. So It opened with the 4 humans walking in on the door. But then if there was any dialogue, I missed it.
There was just, hey, what's that?
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
What in the world is that? What on earth is that? Or something like that. That was all.
Okay.
It was not as good as the... Yeah, thanks, Jeff, from last week that you missed. Did you ever catch up with that? They had a clip of it on Facebook. I was going to send it to you because it's just...
Yeah.
Maya Rudolph's delivery is amusing.
Yes. Good stuff. So...
Yes.
So they left us with a cliffhanger again.
Yeah, as they are wont to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, as has been true of the last episodes, of all the episodes so far this season... I liked it better after listening to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We've been listening to the Good Place podcast hosted by Mark Evan Jackson, Sean. And, hearing them talk, hearing the creative people talk about it, I'm like, oh, yeah, that was pretty good. Well, yeah, that was kind of funny.
Right.
So, I think that's a habit we're going to be in before we talk about it, is to hear them talk about it.
Yes.
I'm interested to see. I'm always interested to see where they're going to go next. I'm not sure I'm going to like it, but how are they going to explain this, and what sort of torment is going to fill them? And what's her name? The Chidi's girlfriend is not there for this part. She's gone home in Eleanor's cab. So,
which I think is going to be important.
I do think so too. Yes. So, I mean, going back and trying to reset things, Michael, seems like a really bad idea.
Yes.
Don't do that. Don't go back. But he's getting increasingly desperate.
Yes, he certainly is. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens next time.
Absolutely, yes. Any discontent with the show is not I'm not going to watch this anymore. It's like, well, on a range of things that are wonderful, this is somewhat less wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But something more wonderful could be just right around the corner.
That's right.
We interrupt this podcast to remind you to please consider the free Radio Public app for all your Parenting Roundabout listening needs. If you listen to our podcast on the app, we'll get paid a little for each listen, and more if you listen a lot.
It's a great way to financially support our podcast without having to actually spend, money.
Now, back to the episode.
Well, something that was definitely less wonderful.
Speaking of less wonderful.
That was far from wonderful was the West Wing episode called Access, which apparently among the fandom is universally hated.
Yes.
This is a faux documentary that follows CJ around for a day, and we're led to believe that, or we're told that it doesn't air until after the administration is out of office.
At a time when, who the heck cares?
Right.
Why would you want to see this?
Exactly. Why are we watching? So, yeah, this was
extremely
not good.
Ill-conceived.
Not good at all. And I agreed with most of what Richie and Josh said on the West Wing Weekly podcast, like basically the less the better, and like here are all the like logic problems that we have with this, and like why would you do this to Alice and Janney?
Yes. Yeah, I mean she did what could be done. Yeah. You know, she's just a very engaging presence. And so, you know, if you're focusing a camera on her and she's acting, you're gonna, even if she's not acting, she's an enjoyable presence as a human also. But, you know, it's gonna be, you know, pleasant to watch, but it's just a waste of an episode, I think. And it's like also the ultimate, and we never saw them again episode of this show. Because apparently there's a whole staff of like,
I know,
you know,
it was
multiple attractive young men working for her who we have never seen before. And as far as I know, we'll never see again. I mean, they said that Wilson Cruz comes back another time. I do not remember it. But, you know, it's who are these people? Right. Where did they come from? Why do we never see them? What the heck?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
That was very disappointing. And the little piece where they had her talking to her dad on the phone, it just seemed really like manipulative, and
it did.
Yucky.
And like rehashing things we know already.
Right.
And I thought that Josh made a really good point when he was saying, for an episode called Access, we have less access than we normally. Like when she went into the room with Mike Casper and closed the door, I was looking forward to then going inside the room and hearing it. And then it was like, oh no, wait. We only get to see what the film. This stinks. Mm-hmm. We got Clark Gregg here and we can't even see his scene with CJ. Wait a minute. That was bad. It was very bad. And coming after the Supremes, which was so wonderful, and then to sink down, is just, what the heck was this? Why was this necessary? Who thought this was a good idea? So, and they mentioned on the West Wing Weekly that, spoiler alert, but it's not really spoilery because I won't say, there is something that is said in this episode that goes on to be false. And you can say, well, they couldn't possibly have known. These are the things that happen. Continuity is hard. But it's not that many episodes in the future that it's false. Mm-hmm. It's like 7 episodes from now. So they don't they're not mapping out the next season yet.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, seems and weird. They couldn't have said at that time, like, oh, whoops, we ruined this. We can't, we painted ourselves out of this particular storyline. So
I don't think they could have done that, although I wish they had, because it was never my favorite development. But yeah, so they could have just not. I don't know why they added this particular thing, because it's the sort of thing that if you're going to add it to something, then you realize, well, we can never do anything other than this,
right?
And then you might want to.
Right.
You hopefully you're going for multiple future seasons. So it was stupid to have put it in the first place. Mm-hmm. And also stupid to have made this episode at all.
Right. In general.
It could completely have not happened.
Right. And like with the previous CJ-centered episode where it wasn't written by Sorkin, I forgot the name of it, but where she went back to Dayton. But anyway, that one, it was clear that they did it because they were way behind and they needed time to catch up. And, this way they could let Sorkin work on other things. And but they don't seem to have that issue in this season.
This is what we've been hearing over and over, is how much better run it is now.
Right. So
and I mean, this seems like an episode they could have filmed any old time. As long as CJ's hair continuity was good. They could have filmed it any old time and just dropped it in whenever they needed it, because it has absolutely no attachment to anything else that's been going on.
No.
Yeah. By the way, the Supremes from last week, I forgot to mention, and we never saw them again.
Oh, really?
Don't be hoping for Glenn Close to pop up and swear somebody in or make a decision. Sort of like the guy from the first season who was Mendoza.
Yeah, Mendoza.
Doesn't even get mentioned.
Right.
Continuity is hard. What do you want? People aren't available. So yeah, maybe the less said about this episode, the better, now that we've talked about it for however long.
Yeah. Yes. So next week,
we have time to cleanse our palate.
That's right, because there will be no West Wing. The podcast is taking a week off. Therefore, we are taking a week off just from the West Wing, and we will still be here to discuss The Good Place and Dancing with the Stars and Dancing with the Stars Juniors.
Yes.
And that,
more than enough.
Yes, more than enough. So that'll be it for our round 2 for today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes, including our daily speed rounds and weekly group chats. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.